Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we have another builder vlog for you. This is one of those, it's been a long time. This is like one of those builds that's been in my game for a very long time. It's one of the first robots I made, and it's like what is that meme? Is like how it went versus how it's going. So it's just like one of those types of situations. So what you're looking at is my robot Sunburn. This is V1. So what used to be the concept was like, so you know how we had a couple horizontals show up in the vlogs, I think, but essentially, you know, horizontal spinners, they're very nasty, right? You basically have a big ass bar or disc spinning at 250 miles per hour coming at you and doing a lot of damage. So the concept was like, okay, well, because they're so easily countered by wedges and whatnot, why don't we try do a tail whip? Essentially, why don't we put the spinner in the back, have a big wedge or something up front, and when the opponent's in range, we spin around and we knock the opponent on the side. So that was the concept of Sunburn. So this is like V1. You can tell it's a very elementary build for me. You know, very bland looking, admittedly so. This is the same robot with forks attempting to get low to the ground. This is a Hardock strip version of it to try and, I don't know, do what Firestorm did in Robot Wars, just try scrape the ground as much as possible without flopping all around. That's version 1. This is V2 of Sunburn. And you'll see there's many different bars. I've tried many different bars in the back of the robot. That's like a big feeder wedge and tail whip around, hit with the bar. Two versions of the anti-horizontal config. You see it's like it's the Illuminati triangle of doom there, and a spinning bar in the back. I also have a disc spinner and another different wedge of sorts. I mean, in practice it sounds really good. I just couldn't get the weight issue because it would always be favored in the back and the wedge wouldn't be touching the ground at all. And so I kind of ditched the idea with it. I mean, I want to make it work, but probably be another robot. But I decided to do Sunburn V3 and do a completely different concept entirely. So with that, let's get into Sunburn V3. Alright, my viewers, this is Sunburn V3. This is its, again, anti-horizontal config. And now it looks completely different, doesn't it? It's not a tail whipping horizontal. It's a take on a robot called Ice Wave. ICE stands for Internal Combustion Engine. Essentially, the spinner runs on gas. It's like a fireman's saw motor that's running the blade, a 50-pound blade or something like that. So that's the take on this. Again, and you're probably wondering, oh, why is there a anti-spinner wedge with the horizontal? It's because in case the blade breaks, I have something to use. I'll also, I mean, that's pretty much the reason. But also, I don't know how this blade will do weapon to weapon. This blade is 21 pounds, spinning at 250 miles per hour. It's a curved blade. It's to give different types of bite depth. Essentially the back as well, because it's not the fastest machine, as you'll see. It's not the fastest machine, but it is easily outdriven. But because the blade is very big around the side and the back, like, you're gonna get hit by it. So you gotta get hit in the front, and the front is low as well, so you're gonna get hit regardless. You gotta face the bar in order to beat this thing. It's very unstable as well. I mean, the bottom is what, aluminum, titanium. So we try putting as much downforce to make it as stable as possible. But we even put a self-righting pole of sorts. Oh, I gotta fix that. That's in the robot. Okay, mental note, I gotta fix that. Oh, we have a self-righting pole to help self-right it. Let's just go into telemetry. So you can see it's not as fast as my other builds. Here's the blade. See, the blade is so powerful, it like turns the robot. And like, you know, you can tell it's very, very delicate. Like, you see that recoil off of hitting the wall? There's so much energy, it's very unstable. You know, I mean, look at how much energy is being put out. That's 41,000 joules of energy being thrown at the opponent. There's so much gyro in this as well. If you flip the machine, look at that, it goes banana balls, right? Like, it's very, very scary. It's very, very unstable, but it's very, very destructive. So you can see what I mean though with the blade, different blade depth. So the back is very well protected by the big blade. You see that's going to have a lot of purchase on there, while the front is very short range, but that's what it's supposed to be. I designed it that way just to essentially, another spinner could deflect up the wedge a little bit and we can hit the blade at a tilted angle instead of directly straight on. So that's the idea with that. When we flip the robot over, you're probably wondering, can you self-right? That's what the pole's for. The pole is to help us self-right. Does it do it reliably? No. Here's what it does. So it does self-right it, but you have to control the blade. You gotta turn it on and off, and it'll be bouncing on the floor. I mean, when it bounces on the floor, it's also damaging the motor. So you gotta be careful how much hits you're hitting the floor with. When it spins up, like, it's gonna go banana balls. It's gonna keep hitting the floor, but then it has to self-right eventually when you turn it on and off the blade. So it takes a lot of control of the weapon and weapon management to make sure it can self-right. Yeah, it's a glass cannon. I'll be honest with you, it's a glass cannon. It's either going to win or going to lose, but it's going to be spectacular. Either way, it's going to be spectacular. Let me show you the fork configuration as well. So here's the fork configuration. So in terms of armament, the only thing different, so the sides is now titanium and the front is hard ox, because simply anything softer is going to be it's already a glass cannon as it is. Anything, if we just did the aluminum, robots are just going to decimate this thing. The forks are titanium forks. It's basically meant to, because people are probably going to use their biggest wedge on us, the forks are meant to disrupt that wedge from getting underneath, get them up just ever so slightly so we can hit them at an angle, not flat. Again, it's just like against a horizontal, right? I don't want to hit them flat on, like flat on weapon to weapon. I want to hit them at an angle to get a bigger bite on. So hopefully, again, I gotta fix this bar as well. So hopefully the forks will do that. It's a very unstable robot, as I said, but it's gonna be fun seeing this thing in battle. So yeah, this is Sunburn V3. I'm very excited for this one, simply because of all the chaos it does in the box. In testing, it's very dangerous. In testing, it is very dangerous. That being said, I hope you enjoy. I hope you're excited. I really want to enter this in like a tournament, an upcoming tournament, just to see how chaotic it can be. See if it can bust some brackets too. Maybe we can get that going. But yeah, that being said, I hope you enjoyed this builder vlog. Likes and subscribes, always appreciate it. How do you think this will do? How do you like this version, this V3 of Sunburn? I really like it personally. More detail and whatnot. But yeah, I will see you all next time. Have a great day, everybody.